most amazing creature. Look at it.
If the 90s movie Jumanji taught us anything, it's that jungles can be wild and unpredictable. Believe it or not, reality can sometimes be stranger than fiction. The jungles of the world are even more bizarre than Jumanji, and some incredibly weird things can surface within them. Here are the 20 strangest things recently discovered in the jungles of Borneo. Number 20. New species of orchid. It's just a thrill a minute here today at the Fancy Banana. Now isn't it? I mean, we've had trees and stick insects, and now, for your enjoyment, we have a new species of orchid. It looks a lot like all the other orchids, but it is different and therefore completely and utterly exciting. Turns out that Borneo is actually home to a vast array of orchid species, and with around 3,000 varieties found there, that is way more than anywhere else on Earth. In recent years, conservation efforts on Borneo have led to the discovery of 37 new species within the heart of the Borneo region alone. This represents the majority of the 51 new orchids that have been found across the entire island since 2007. This heart of Borneo area is a truly densely packed wonderland for all things previously unknown in nature. One of these newly discovered orchids is the Paphiopedilum rothschildianum, which really rolls off the tongue. The orchid comes from Mount Kinabalu, the second highest peak in Malaysia, at a lofty 2,642 meters tall. It's known for its diverse range of plant and animal life, which makes sense that it's harboring more species that may yet be discovered. Protecting Borneo's orchids is important for preserving the island's biodiversity. The island's rainforests provide ideal conditions for orchids to grow, and efforts to conserve these habitats are essential in ensuring the continued existence of Borneo's orchids for the future. Number 19. New population of bay cat. Back in 2016, scientists had rather limited knowledge about the bay cat. This is one of the 5 wild cat species that are native to Borneo. It's a secretive creature, and this made it challenging for researchers to gather even basic information on its biology, behavior, and distribution. But then, a breakthrough happened when researchers from the Borneo Nature Foundation captured some camera trap footage of the bay cat in a forest where it was previously thought not to have existed. Collaborating with scientists from around the world, the Borneo Nature Foundation conducted wildlife surveys in the Rungon landscape of central Kalimantan. During these surveys, 52 camera traps were strategically placed to poke about in the lives of its inhabitants. Despite previous reports, those traps caught video footage of a male bay cat, and this managed to confirm the species' presence in the forest. This discovery was particularly significant because it happened almost 50 miles to the southeast of its then-known distribution range. It just goes to show you we are always learning and that things are constantly changing all around us. Number 18. Copstein's Bronzeback. In 2007, the Copstein's Bronzeback snake was discovered in Borneo. This unique species has a distinctive appearance. They're generally observed growing to about 1.5 meters long, and unlike other snakes of this particular flavor, it features a specific neck coloration that transitions from bright orange to an iridescent blending of blue, green, and brown. This is visible all along its entire length, and it's such a fancy reptile. To add a little bit more snap to this snake's outfit, the top of its head sports a deep bronze shade. It's actually a characteristic of all bronzeback snakes, hence the name, with a dark stripe that extends all the way from the snout to the neck. It's very, very fetching. These snakes are easily recognizable if you happen to upset them. When threatened, the bronzeback can flare its nape, and it does a fabulous job of showing off the vibrant orange of its coloring. But if you know what's good for you, you won't go around prodding these creatures. Its aggressive nature and painful bite make it best observed from a very safe distance in its natural habitat in the lowland to upland rainforest. These snakes often like to chill in trees because it's the best place for hunting frogs and lizards. They may be pretty, but they are mean, so avoid any close encounters with these particular creatures. You have been warned. Number 17. The Mulu flying frog. Discovered at an elevation of over 1,000 meters above sea level within Gunung Mulu National Park in the heart of Borneo, this is the Mulu flying frog. This rather distinct frog species is kind of unusual. Not only does it do all the regular frog stuff that you would expect, but it can also fly. It's the most amazing creature. Look at it. Its habitat is limited to the Tapin Valley, where it hangs out near small streams in the area. These frogs are commonly referred to as flying frogs. They're kind of tiny, and the male only measures a dinky 3.5 centimeters in length. What sets this diminutive amphibian apart is its remarkable ability to change color. By day, it wears a boring old brown outfit, but at night its skin then transforms into a vibrant shade of green, so it looks cool at the local discotheque. This color shift doesn't only involve the creature's skin, it also extends to its eyeballs, which is pretty cool, I think. The Mulu flying frog belongs to a group of amphibians that are weird and wonderful because of their rather effective gliding capabilities. This trait is made possible by their large, fully webbed feet, and the aerodynamic skin flaps on their limbs. Borneo is home to at least 3 other species of flying frogs, so just imagine all of these creatures flying through the air and towards your face. Number 16. The world's tallest tropical tree. Back in 2016, a thrilling sort of news story surfaced about a discovery in Sabah, Malaysia, on the island of Borneo. Now, honestly, if you like trees, and really, who doesn't, then this is the most exciting thing that you would have heard for about 10 seconds in that year. They had found a yellow Meranti tree that, at approximately 294 feet, claimed the title of the world's tallest tropical tree. You see, it's a thrill a minute. However, this record did not stand for long. Gregory Asner, who is some guy out of Stanford University's Carnegie Institution for Science, a nerd, made an announcement at the Heart of Borneo conference that he had stumbled upon an even bigger find. And not just one, but 50 taller tropical trees. It seems like someone wasn't looking properly the first time, or perhaps they had a defective tape measure. Who could possibly say? The tallest among Asner's revelations stood at a staggering height of 309 feet. And with great heights comes great canopy, and this tree had a canopy that spread over 132 feet in diameter. The towering giant was discovered in the Dainam Valley of Sabah, and Asner, who had apparently personally witnessed the tree during an aerial expedition, described the experience as deeply impactful. Well, it is very large now, isn't it? Number 15. Bornean flathead frog. In 2008, a group of scientists found the Bornean flathead frog. Its more flat appearance seems to have a bunch of other organs occupying the space where lungs would usually be found in other, more boring lung-having frogs. What makes this frog even more extraordinary is that it is one of the few frog species in the world that lacks lungs altogether, relying solely on its skin for respiration. This adaptation allows it to survive in fast-moving, oxygen-rich waters, where typical lung-breathing frogs would struggle. Its unique physiology is a direct response to its challenging environment, making it a true marvel of evolution. The flathead frog is also a valuable indicator species, meaning its health reflects the overall health of its freshwater habitat. The flathead frog's shape also has a practical purpose within its habitat in the rainforest of the heart of Borneo. It allows the frog to navigate much more efficiently in the fast-flowing streams in which it lives. The flatter body makes for a larger surface area for oxygen absorption. It's all very efficient and exciting, I'm sure. It was first discovered in 1978, but the species is currently classified as endangered and on the IUCN Red List of threatened species. Unfortunately, it's only found in 2 locations within the middle of a river basin. They are at great risk of pollution created by mining activity, which poses significant threats to its survival in these areas. Number 14. The Penen Tribe. The Penen Tribe are a people who are indigenous to the rainforests of Borneo. This area is mostly found in the Malaysian state of Sarawak. The tribe is one of the last remaining nomadic hunter-gatherer communities in Southeast Asia, and they've lived in harmony with their surroundings for centuries. That makes sense since the Penen people have traditionally relied on the forest for sustenance, shelter, and spirituality. This is a respectful relationship between people and the natural world, something unknown to most of us today, to be honest. Their semi-nomadic lifestyle revolves around the seasons. They follow the natural rhythms of the rainforest and have a deep knowledge of the land, utilizing many different plants for food, medicine, and tools. Hunting and gathering is essentially the backbone of their subsistence life, and they supplement this with some small-scale agriculture and fishing. Everything involves treading lightly on the earth. They don't take more than what they need, and they honor and respect the forest for its ability to feed and protect them. They live in traditional homes known as barrows. These are simple structures woven from palm leaves and bamboo, and these houses can be easily constructed and dismantled, which works well with their mobile lifestyle. Despite the encroachment of the outside world, many of them are still maintaining their traditional way of life, though some have gradually transitioned to settled villages. This is the result of various external pressures and government policies that have failed to protect this ancient way of life while promoting more modernization. Naturally, a good deal of this is because of corporate greed and the expansion of industry into their traditional lands. Logging and palm oil plantations have massively impacted the landscape while threatening the cultural heritage of the people and creating devastation across the environment. Number 13. New freshwater prawn species. Here's another discovery that happened back in the late 2000s. A new species of freshwater prawn. The find added to the biodiversity of a river that's situated within the tropical rainforests of East Kalimantan in Borneo. This river flows into another really long river that's known for its rich biodiversity. There are nearly 150 endemic fish species, 300 bird species, and the critically endangered Irrawaddy dolphin in these waters. Amidst all this busy stuff, the new prawn is actually one of 2 newly identified prawn species. This one can be recognized by its teeny-tiny size, measuring barely more than 1 centimeter in length. You can understand why it remained undiscovered for so long. Another weird fact about this particular prawn is that it has a surprisingly large number of teeth compared to similar species. Although, to be perfectly honest with you, I never imagined that prawns had teeth at all, so that was a surprise to me in the first place. How about you? How are you doing with all of this prawn tooth revelation? Alongside this exciting and toothsome new prawn species, several other unidentified species of freshwater prawns await official scientific description, because they don't exist until then. Now do they? As Borneo's rivers face increasing threats from habitat destruction, pollution, and unsustainable fishing practices, the conservation of these vital waterways is becoming much more urgent. The scientific exploration in the heart of Borneo was a major part of drawing attention to this important and unique ecosystem. Not only did they discover all the previously unknown species that we've been looking at, but they also created a buzz around this island and the incredible diversity that lives there. Number 12. Chan's Megastick. Chan's Megastick is a massive species of stick insect that can be found mainly in the rainforests of Borneo. It was discovered relatively recently, in 2008. Naturally, because it's so unusually big, people have been rather more interested in this particular stick insect than they generally are in other sorts of recently found ones. Chan's Megastick is one of the longest insects in the world. Its sheer size makes it a marvel of evolution, perfectly adapted to life in dense tropical forests, where its camouflage is essential for survival. Despite its intimidating length, the megastick is completely harmless to humans, feeding solely on plant matter. Researchers believe its large size might be an evolutionary response to the abundance of food sources in Borneo's rainforests, allowing it to cover greater distances in search of leaves. The insect is also an important part of the ecosystem, playing a role in plant control and serving as prey for larger animals. Apparently, the females can reach a length of up to 32 centimeters, including their extended legs. Males, although still quite large, are typically a bit shorter than the females of the species. Like other stick insects, Chan's megastick can basically resemble a stick or a twig. This is what allows it to camouflage so effectively amongst the foliage of the rainforest canopy. The camouflage is effective as a defense mechanism against predators, as the insect can remain undetected while feeding on leaves and vegetation. Sneaky little big creatures, I would say. Number 11. Oldest figurative painting in the world. This cave in Borneo is the location of the oldest known figurative art in the whole entire world. It's more than 40,000 years old and has changed our understanding of depictions of people. Prior to the discovery of this art, the oldest known human-made figures were from Germany, where they had found some carved ivory figurines that included people, birds, and horses. These were, at the time, believed to be no more than 40,000 years old, but this new finding has placed this cave art as even older than those. There are older images, but these are mainly crisscrossing lines and abstract patterns that have been discovered and were made by early humans. But the figure of the person is a pretty special discovery in the history of art. What this discovery has helped to clarify is that it seems as though humans in locations thousands of miles apart were making a transition in their creative development at similar times, despite being nowhere near each other. And it's truly amazing. Number 10. The spectacled flowerpecker. In 2010, another utterly thrilling discovery went down in the Danam Valley Conservation Area in Sabah, within the heart of Borneo. A bunch of scientists stumbled upon a previously unknown avian gem, the spectacled flowerpecker. And no doubt, the bird was as surprised to see them as they were to see it. While crossing a rainforest canopy walkway that spanned 250 meters, researchers caught sight of the little bird. It has a soft gray color with white arcs above and below its eyes, and a broad white stripe that extends all the way from the throat down to the belly. It also has tufts of white at the sides of the breast, and its distinctive eye rings gave it the slightly silly moniker of the spectacled flowerpecker. The discovery made all of the science people a little bit puzzled, especially considering the long-standing scientific presence in the valley. The science stuff had been going on there since 1986, and despite decades of study, the bird had remained hidden until now. Experts, although they must be slightly short-sighted ones, believe the spectacled flowerpecker to be a specialist of the canopy, and they think that it thrives specifically amongst the high treetops where it finds the most fruit. Its preference for the upper reaches explains how it had evaded detection until this very moment. Well, kind of. Did anyone wonder whether the reason all these creatures and plants were in the dense rainforest in Borneo to begin with was because they had found a good place to hide and were really rather keen on not being discovered? It's just a thought. Number 9. A new species of slug. According to scientists, among the vast array of invertebrate species, slugs are rarer than others. It is much less common to discover a new species of slug than you may have previously imagined. I know this is a thought that keeps many of you up at night, so you will no doubt be thrilled to know that, in the high altitudes of Borneo, particularly in Sabah, several rare and highly endemic species have been identified, including the newly discovered Ibicus racheli. They exist in some especially colorful forests on top of a mountain, reaching heights of 1,900 meters. With a body length of 4 centimeters, it has an exceptionally long tail, which is actually 3 times the length of its head and wraps around its body while resting. It's kind of cute, even if a bit slimy. The slug apparently has some unique courtship behaviors, involving the use of suggestively named love darts. These are composed of calcium carbonate and are a harpoon-like structure used to inject a hormone into potential mates, potentially increasing the chances of successful reproduction. Sounds kind of sinister to me, but no judging, slugs are slugs, I suppose. Number 8. New slow lorus species. Back in 2012, researchers in Borneo discovered a new species of slow lorus. Although very seldom seen, the slow lorus is among the rarest of all primates on planet Earth. These animals do have a bit of a reputation. Apart from being very slow-moving, they also have an incredibly poisonous bite. A bite from a lorus is super deadly, and there's actually no known antidote. This is an unusual feature for a primate, and scientists are still trying to figure out exactly why the lorus has a venomous bite at all. It's weird. Now, they are pretty cute, and if you like the human-like characteristics of these animals, they have really human-looking hands. Isn't it just a tiny bit creepy at the same time, though? Add to that the fact that the word lorus is from the Dutch for clown, and that these animals have extra vertebrae, so they move more like a snake than a primate. If the lorus strikes you as being cute despite being a clown-faced, human-fingered, snake-creeping creature, then please be careful, for Pete's sake, and remember, I also have a deadly and incurable venom-dripping bite. Number 7. Bornean clouded leopard. Clouded leopards are among the most elusive and least understood of all the big cats on Earth. They inhabit the forests of Southeast Asia and are extremely powerful climbers. The thing that makes these leopards stand out is the remarkably long set of canines that they possess. Despite popular internet opinion, the clouded leopard is only as related to the saber-toothed cat of prehistoric times as all the other cats are, but they are still pretty cool. The Bornean clouded leopard was named as a new species in 2007. These magnificent big cats are reclusive creatures who live within the dense forests of Borneo and Sumatra. The genetic testing that was carried out confirms that the Bornean clouded leopard is distinct from all other clouded leopards on mainland Asia, so different, in fact, that they're only about as related as lions are to panthers. The Bornean clouded leopard hunts prey on the island like monkeys, deer, wild pigs, and lizards. They are a major part of the balance in the ecosystem within the Bornean rainforest. Number 6. Rare palm species. Researchers from the Royal Botanic Gardens and a bunch of their collaborators recently found a unique member of the palm family that actually flowers and bears fruit almost completely underground. This weird characteristic led to the naming of the species Penen subterranea. The plant is native to the tropical island of Borneo in Southeast Asia, and it is popular among locals who enjoy its bright red fruit, which is sweet and juicy. Despite being unknown to scientists in London, plenty of local people have been aware of and using the plant for many generations. And despite its popularity among the island's inhabitants, it had gone unnoticed by scientists until now. It's now among the over 2,500 known palm species, but unfortunately, a large number of these plants are under threat of extinction. The international research team found the palm scattered across the primary rainforests of western Borneo, spanning from Sarawak in Malaysia to the mountains of Indonesia. Before its scientific description, the plant was known by various names in at least 3 Bornean languages. It seems as though scientists actually learned from the locals instead of doing their own slow and often wrongful research. They could understand a whole lot more about the flora and fauna of any place a lot more efficiently if they did so, just saying. Number 5. Borneo earless monitors. Monitor lizards are large reptiles that can be found in many different habitats all across Africa, Asia, and Oceania. The most famous of these types of lizards is the Komodo dragon, and they are also the coolest. Komodo dragons are very big indeed. In fact, they can weigh more than 300 pounds. But when you consider that they eat 80% of their own weight in just one meal, well, that kind of explains how they manage to get to be such an impressive size. Oh, and these big monitor lizards are psychos. Seriously, they have some of the most ruthless and downright terrifying murder skills in the entire animal kingdom. But there are a few other species of monitor lizard out there, and apparently, there's one in the forests of Borneo called the Borneo earless monitor. It is like no other creature on Earth. These monitor lizards have their most recent common ancestors with other contemporary reptiles that go all the way back to the Cretaceous period, about 145 to 66 million years ago. Yes, these are direct descendants of dinosaurs, and they are awesome. They even look like dinosaurs as well, don't they? They have no ear openings, but they can actually hear, and they're long with brown, armored skin and crazy blue eyes. These monitors are semi-aquatic and love to live close to water like streams and marshlands. Like other monitors, they are carnivorous and always hungry. They will eat a wide variety of prey and tend to be pretty opportunistic. The Borneo earless monitor has been given the worrying status of endangered by the IUCN Red List, and much of their decline in numbers is the result of human behavior that has destroyed their habitat. Big shocker there. Number 4. New species of carnivorous plant. According to Darwin, millions of years ago, a bunch of plants went through a series of changes and adaptations that meant they evolved the ability to eat meat. Sounds wild, but that is what carnivorous plants do. Plants like Venus flytraps are famous for this sort of bloodthirsty behavior. Those kinds are especially interested in eating small insects. But there are other kinds of carnivorous plants with much more surprising taste. This new discovery is actually a type of pitcher plant, which appears to have adapted to produce underground traps in addition to regular above-ground ones. They are known as pitcher plants on account of their shape, which is said to resemble a pitcher or jug of sorts. These plants often find themselves growing in nutrient-deficient soils, and have therefore developed adaptations to help them survive the difficult conditions. They've developed mechanisms that allow them to coax, capture, and ingest insects and other kinds of prey. This unusual diet gives the plants the phosphorus and nitrogen that they need to grow and sustain themselves. Number 3. New species of lorda merma. Well, this is actually a type of ant. Now again, I know that you're thrilled by this extraordinary revelation. Since the establishment of the Heart of Borneo Conservation Plan, a whole brand new herd of invertebrate species has been unearthed, and this has all been busily adding to the region's biodiversity. Among these discoveries are net-winged beetles, a benthic water bug, a wasp, some ants and flies, and apparently there are 20 newly identified species. One exciting find is the reddish-brown ant lorda merma reticulata. It was found in leaf litter within the lowland rainforests of Sabah, and its discovery is of great significance as it extends the known range of this genus to encompass Southeast Asia. The expansion of the genus's distribution helps to join the dots to the interconnectedness of ecosystems all across the region, while adding a whole heap of brand new information to the way that ecosystems can be understood, all from one little tiny ant. Number 2. Hybrid mystery monkey. Back in 2017, a so-called mystery monkey was first spotted as a baby, and then in 2022, a monkey, perhaps the exact same one, now all fully grown up, appeared and continued to puzzle the scientists who knew all about the regular monkeys. This monkey has been called a hybrid mystery monkey and has been seen in the forests of Borneo. But given the number of previously overlooked species that have been recently discovered, it could be that there are actually hundreds of these monkeys out there, and it's just that nobody's noticed before. Anyway, there are some images of this strange monkey that researchers have been busily examining in order to attempt to work out what kind of hybrid creature it might actually be. Their first ideas have been that the monkey is a crossbreed between a proboscis monkey and a silvery langur. These two species do live in the same forest, but they're only remotely related and have extremely different characteristics from one another. It's weird because monkeys don't usually interbreed, at least not with a whole lot of success, so who could possibly say? Now it's time for today's topic. Every continent, country, or region has animals of its own that people from other parts of the world are baffled by. When tourists took a river tour in the jungles of Borneo, they looked down at the water, hoping to see nice and pretty fish. But what they actually found was unlike any creature they'd ever known. Snapping this photo as quick as they could, they captured a truly monstrous and strange creature. Mother Nature is fascinating, and here's hoping that the gruesome little river dweller is living his best life as always. Number 1. Zebra-striped fish. This is the zebra-striped fish. It is among 17 different fish species that have been found in the heart of Borneo in recent times. These small and rather boring fish measure around 3.6 centimeters. Despite their unassuming appearance, they play a crucial role in the ecosystem by helping to keep the water clean through their diet of algae and tiny invertebrates. The zebra-like pattern on their bodies provides them with effective camouflage, allowing them to blend in with the aquatic vegetation. This helps them avoid predators, which are abundant in the rainforest waters. Interestingly, the species has adapted well to the ever-changing conditions of their environment, making them more resilient than they might initially appear. Though they had not been discovered until more recent times, it's understood that the species of fish is often found in slow-moving and shallow streams, along with swamps within the shaded areas of the rainforest. Other than that, they don't really do much. Well, it is a fish. I mean, it's kind of boring at that. That's all for today from Borneo's Strange Offerings. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the other cool stuff on the screen, and I'll see you next time.